Is it remotely probable to shoot 12 trillion tons of carbon sequestration dioxide of the airborne each year? For many decades to go. How's the problem delivered by the newest conclusions of the UN's Environment Scientific Pane? It says how just by hauling the warmth-trapping gas out of the ambience can we escape hazardous environment changing. But on to one guideline investigator, down there's a bit of a hesitation, we refuged a key how to do it. The issue is how scientists believe how, though if the planet manages to cut emissions of the natural gas, it will no much longer be quite to escape the lowest impacts. We've got to go a move future, they tell, and discover ways of making thing never taken up, get rid of the gas house already out down there. And get begun on it as quickly as probable. On an inconceivable scope. But though the expenses are declining, they stay really top and lot miracle if it's probable to plastering the earth in so lot equipment. Forests do the job of soaking up carbon sequestration dioxide, since the trees requirement it to increase, but if they are leftward to rot or are burnt, the gas will be liberated behind out once again. Down there are schemes for fertilizing the oceans to promote planktonic to prosper, consume company and pull it to the sea story, but down there are risks of unintentional ensuing consequences. Yet else prospect is to imitate a geologic trial named as aeration, in that rock are break downward in a chemistry response how draws carbon sequestration dioxide of the airborne. The happens all the period natural but took off in impressive vogue more than rather than 400 millionth year back. In an old circuit response, as earth-based seedling developed to be greater, it's believed their cradle desired to remove more than inorganic nutritional of the rock, erosion them and exhibiting them to the airborne. How in rotate led to a large reducing in company in the ambience. Could the identical impact be reiterated? Professor David Bierling hopes so. The conception is to get the volcano-fate basalt, mill it up in a dust and later strew it on fields. Testing on a study farmer in Illinois found how the basalt acts as a fertilizer, increase harvest yields, that might assist convince farmers to use it instead of top carbon synthetic fertilizer. And previous results of less experiments in Professor Bierling's lab in Sheffield show a more than deep gain, how the presence of the fate in the ground as well boosts the sum of carbon sequestration dioxide house undertaken up, perhaps by as lot as 4 persons times. As portion of the draft, testing with basalt begun in Malaysia and Australia to see how various environments influence the results. The site is for the largest emitters such as the US, China and Brazil to get the use basalt on their extensive agri-businesses and, perfect, absorb up a few trillion tons of company. Professor Bierling knows how several consider the as above optimistic, but he is precise how a great policy is necessary. One day company goes up in the airborne, it doesn't go downward except you do thing on it, and the effects recent for millennia. And one day the ice sheets go, how's it, in millions of human beings residing on or shut to coastlines at hazard. At the time we include no concept how to shoot billions of tons of company of the ambience. It's an huge technology problem how dwarfs whatever we've seen up. If it all had to be recently dug up, the ecological price might death the concept of the begin. But the industry age has purified billions of tons of the order type of fate of outdoor cast mining and has as well engendered large amounts of dross, waste management of ferrous and steel manufacture, that could as well be utilized. The pragmatic challenges are apparently vast. But the dross himself, that historic was discarded undesirable in hilly heaps, is amazingly nice at catching company. Dr. Phil Renforth of Cardiff College has been collection samples of production of several neglected corners of Britain's industry legacy. I united him on a black slope in southward Wales. Globally we make part 1 trillion tons of dross about the planet, he told, or how could seize thing on the procedure of a block of 1 trillion tons of company. So it's not departure to do all, but it might be pertinent for us. How's a issue how normally produces shrugs. Too slight is named at the phase. I ask Professor Bierling while the basalt spraying method might be in utilize, arrogant it's ultimately tested to job on a big scope. This infrastructure facilities for farmers to expand basalt on their cereal is already in location. If tested secure and efficient, it might be deployed during a 10 years or couple, he says. Yet all the period, though more than company is creature added to the ambience, and in few options for reverse it.